name is Sarah. This is Mother Goose Knits. It's my knitting vlog where I blab about knitting and spinning and quilting. I'm a knitter from Buffalo, New York, and mom of 3. So you can hear one of them now. What are you talking about? Right now, my main whip is, well, actually, I should probably start with finished objects. I showed this in my last vlog, sort of at the end, but I was not prepared to show my face in it. But this is the Sky Hill hat. This is the second Sky Hill hat I've knit. It is from the book Knits About Winter by Emily Foden. The first one I knit was the tall version using Nature's Brown fisherman's wool from Lion brand. And that one turned out really nice. I love how it came out. I love this ridge design. So I decided to use my hand spun for another one. And this was in the colorway Garland from Nest Fiber Co. And you can see there's sort of, the top has these little baubles, which I think is really cute. And yeah, I finished that. And I love how it came out. It's a little bit shorter than I wanted. I wanted to knit the tall version, but I wasn't gonna have enough of this hand spun. This is 4 ounces. And I spun it 2-ply worsted weight. I wasn't gonna have enough for what do you call it? The length of it, or the height of it was supposed to be something like 11 inches for the tall version. And I only ended up doing 9. But then I did decreases. There's separate decrease instructions for the short version and the long version. And I did the long version decrease. Only I may have done the long version decrease a little bit shorter. But it turned out fine. I really like using as much of my hand spun as I possibly can. And I had a little bit left over, which was kind of annoying to me, but that's okay. I think it turned out nicely, even if it's not as tall as I wanted. It's cute. It's a nice bright color. On to my main project. I have another project bag with the rest of the pieces of my main project in it, but this is my working basket. And this is the Eastwind jacket, again from Knits About Winter. That's the Eastwind jacket. It's just a big cardigan, and it will be really nice for spring. So this year is the year of the cardigan. I'm going to be knitting cardigans as a priority, even though there are sweaters that I definitely want to do. I want to make sure I'm always working on a cardigan because I've only knit 2 cardigans the entire time I've been knitting, and they are my most worn sweaters. So it needs to happen. Cardigans and hoodies. I don't know why what is it about a hoodie that makes it comfortable to wear? I don't use the hood, so I don't know what it is about hoodies. But my traveler hoodie, my low-key cardigan, and my folklore cardigan, I have 2 traveler hoodies. Those are my most worn sweaters out of my whole collection. So I need to do more hoodies. I need to do more cardigans. And that's what we're going to do this year. I went on a tangent about cardigans, and now I forgot what I was saying. Okay. Ooh. So this is my main whip, and this is the 3rd out of 4 panels. This is the right back. I finished the first 2 front panels, and those panels had pockets. And this is the back. This is the center back, so there's going to be another panel sewn together. So there's going to be the two cables right there. And this is where I cast on for the sleeve. So it's going to go up this way. It's bottom up, and then it'll decrease for the collar. But it's coming along. I am kind of annoyed that it's 4 panels. I kind of wish you could just do a single back panel with 2 cable things. I don't know if the seam is for structure or if it's to help with the rolled seam. The rolled, the ends have this it's like a few knits and then a purl, and that's it, instead of ribbing. So after blocking, it lays flat pretty well, but it does roll a little bit. And I think that's a design choice. And so I'm wondering if, because the collar has that rolled thing too, that it might help it roll less if there's a seam in the back, if you know what I mean. Also, there is, you can see it on the cover here, right there, the shoulder, drop shoulder seam. It's sewn together with the, what do you call it? The selvage showing on the outside as a design choice. So maybe that's part of it too. But I was kind of just wishing that this would be the last panel I'd have to do, but it is a jacket. It's very oversized. So I expected it to be a long process. I started this in January. So yeah, we're almost getting through March now. It will be perfect to wear for early spring though. So hopefully I can get it done and I can get some use out of it this season. That is the Eastwind jacket. Oh, and this is knit from Cascade 220 in the color Walnut Heather, and the contrast is Doeskin Heather. And that's Cascade 220 non-superwash worsted. Now, new cast on. My new cast on is just started. Now, I was just talking about cardigans, but I am knitting the barn sweater, which is not a cardigan. It's from this book. I really wanted to knit as many patterns from this book, you know, right off the bat, just because, I don't know why, but here's the barn sweater. Oh, well, what happened, the reason I started knitting this was because I found a yarn that I wanted to use at Joann's, and it was on sale. It was actually on sale before their store closing sale, and it was on sale cheaper than it is now during their store closing sale. They still have a ton of this yarn. It is the Lucky Brand cotton merino blend. So it's 50% cotton, 50% superwash merino. And it's in the color Fired Brick. And I knit a gauge swatch. So I bought it because I thought this is kind of the color I'm looking for. And it seemed like a fabric the kind of fabric I was looking for this project, right? And this was the gauge swatch. I ripped it out partially. I wanted to do the gauge swatch ahead of time and figure out what size I needed to knit, because my gauge does not match with Emily Foden's at all. Like I'm not gonna get her gauge no matter what I do. So I have to switch sizes and knit my own gauge. And so I figured all that out. And then I just decided I might as well just cast on for the sweater and get it going, you know? So I can start on it and I don't have to sit there and go, oh, gauge swatch, oh, casting on freaking 300 stitches. Like, there's a lot of stitches here. The way this is knit is very interesting because it's starting on the back, but it's also starting like right here on the back. And then you knit up and then do the neck, and you like bind off for the neck hole, and then you knit downward on both sides, and then cast on for the front of the neck hole, and then you knit downward until you reach the sleeves right here. So it's like a weird yoke design. So I wrapped my head around that, and I cast on, and I kind of started, and I haven't touched it since then, but it will be nice to just sort of, once I'm done with the jacket, I can just pick that up and go. But as a result, because it's starting right here as it's kind of a drop shoulder. Yeah, is it a drop shoulder? What do you call that? Here, I'll show a schematic. Hopefully I can. It's like going out here a little bit too. So it's very long. So it kind of, and this is one side. This isn't a circumference either. It's not like this. It's like this. So actually I'm a little like, I mean, this is gonna stretch too. Yeah, I mean, but this is going out like this, right? You know what I mean? I don't know. I cast on and I was like, oh, that's a lot of stitches. If you've ever, like, if you're a beginner knitter, or if you remember when you began knitting, a lot of times you don't end up with a sweater that's too small. You end up with a sweater that's way too big. So this was giving me like beginner knitter PTSD, where I was like, this seems really big. I don't want to knit it too huge. It's crazy. But I did the gauge swatch. I diligently counted the stitches, and I did all the math and everything. So I think it'll be all right. That's all I have for now. I hope you enjoyed your St. Patty's Day. And I'll talk to you guys later.